Hello everyone, it's Kylie Bertucci, Stampin' Up demonstrator with you here from Australia. And we have lots here saying hello. Hi everyone! So good to see you all. Mwah! Big hugs. Hello Christine, hi Ruth, Heather, Robin. Oh, so nice to see you all here. Linda's here, Kayleen's here. Oh, so exciting. So you are going to fall over. I'm actually organised today. It's a first. I had a bit of a play last night and yeah, I know what I'm doing. Hi Bruno Bertucci from the other room. Bruno worked very hard on our outside garden yesterday. So his muscles are very sore. He's like, oh, my legs hurt. It's what happens when you garden. So we have a beautiful, beautiful backyard now. We figure we're not going anywhere for a while, maybe not even traveling for a while. So let's make our backyard pretty so we can have nice barbecues and sit out there, which will be lovely. So it looks fantastic. Good job, Bruno. Well done to you. Hi, Becky Jo. You're finally getting to see her live. How exciting. Welcome. Hi, Nancy. So good to have you all here. Now, if you're watching the replay and you can't see any of these names that I am talking about, this is on YouTube, and you also need to log in to see the comments. I keep the live chat replay even afterwards, but you do need to be signed in to see it. If you're watching this on Facebook, then you won't be able to know what I'm talking about. You have to go over to YouTube. But it's still great to see you watching the replay. So say hello regardless, because I love hearing from you all. Now, what has been happening? Bruno's dad is back from hospital. Yay, Dad. And it's looking good despite having a fracture in his spine. He had a fall. And he was in hospital for over a week, but he's doing very good. Bruno saw him this week, and yeah, everything seems to be going okay. They were going to do surgery, but decided against it because of his age. He's 78. 78 is so crazy how quick time goes. So yes, I should send some pictures, Nancy. I'll definitely pop that up because I'm very proud of Bruno. But yes, it's very good news. So far so good. He isn't in any pain, so that's the main thing, and he's still able to walk, and so they're the main concerns, which is very good. I know, phew. And my dad, Frank, he says thank you very much for all of you that sent cards. And if you want to send a card to Bruno's dad, just let me know, just message us. If you're looking for someone to send a card to, I'm sure Pasquale, that's Bruno's dad, Pasquale Bertucci, he would love it. He really would. So if you want to send him a card, you can send it to our house and we can get it to him. But yeah, just message me because it's fun. I think these men, like I remember when Dad he had his leg amputated last year from medical complications, and it blew his mind, even this time. Like, he kept posting them on Facebook, on his page. He just was, like, overwhelmed that a stranger would think about sending him a card. And he just found it so touching. So, yeah, it's really special, a gift that we've got. So, think about ones maybe that you know or in your community. Have some cards ready to go, even, that you can just send a little thinking of you or how are you. Yes, that's true, Margot. As you get older becomes younger. I used to think 40 was old. Now I'm like, you're a baby when you're 40. So yes, if you'd like to message us, feel free. No worries, Pat. Enjoy your day. So today I am going to, PS, thank you for all of our lovely cards. We are going to do a random act of kindness post We still receive lots of cards from all you beautiful people from around the world, and we're so grateful for that. So much so that it actually gets quite overwhelming trying to keep up with it all. So we have a process where once a month we kind of collate it all and show you all, because it's just so beautiful. I still just get so excited when we get happy mail, and when a card comes from around the world or from our own country even. It's just really, really special. So keep that up. If you're not part of our Random Act of Kindness group, please be part of that, because we kind of need people to send cards to. So if you don't have people to send cards to, I mean, these days we have a lot of people we can send cards to, right? But maybe you just want to mix it up and send it to a fellow crafter that appreciates handmade cards, which is a lot of fun. So I've just popped up the Random Act of Kindness group so that you can join that. It's a really great way of connecting with people from around the world and sharing your creativity with others, which is what this is all about, right? That's our goal. Now, here in Melbourne today, just in case you can hear it, it is pouring with rain. It is gorgeous. I don't remember the last time we've had rain quite this heavy. So I think it's like a fish and chip kind of day. Today I was meant to getting back on my diet, but you know what? On a rainy day, I just want a warm hug. I just want something yummy. I don't know quite what it's going to be yet, but maybe kebabs. I just think of junk food on rainy days. Hot chips and cuddles. So what have we got? I've been addicted to crepes this week. Crepes have been my thing this week. Does anyone like crepes? I love crepes so much. Like, they're the best thing ever. Delicious. With Nutella and peanut butter and banana, or if you just have homemade jam and cream, or just like squeezed lemon with sugar on top. It's making my heart so happy. Food does make me happy. Oh, sadly you need to be on Facebook, Nessa. Go under an alias name to go on Facebook. All the fun happens on Facebook. As annoying as that is, there's a lot of fun on Facebook. Yes. So, what am I doing today? Let me show you. I have some very, very exciting things to show you. We're going to, what I thought might be a good idea for these lives is to sort of highlight maybe a bundle that you haven't noticed. Oh, ice cream on crepes, yum. Toowoomba, Maddie. My friends are in Toowoomba at the moment. They're moving to Deception Bay. So they're staying in an Airbnb in Toowoomba. And my mum went to, I think it was in Toowoomba. She went to boarding school there. She's originally from Tara in Queensland. And I was meant to be born in Hervey Bay, but there was no hospital. So I was born in Maryborough. Random information, but it's all around that area. Yes. So today I am highlighting a new bundle that I haven't played with yet. It got ink on it last night for the first time. And last week you saw me using the wrapped bouquet bundle. And I also thought, because I saw a lot of the comments, everyone was really excited about that card, which made me very happy. The one from last week. Here it is here. Let me grab it for you. Yeah, everyone was really excited from last week, this one here. But what I thought I would do, because a few people were like, oh, I don't know if I would use it. You know, that's a really nice card, but, you know, sort of, it's almost like you want to see more, right? You want to see different samples and just see how you can use it in different ways. So, I've been super organized, and I have 4 samples for you today using the Tranquil Thoughts Bundle. I know, what even is this bundle? You might be asking. So this is in our new mini, and it is a gorgeous, like, look at these dies. There's a lot of dies here. And there's some fantastic sentiments on there. So I thought that I would have a bit of fun and come up with a variety of ideas. So let me share them with you. And then these will be on my blog during the week. So you're all getting a preview, a before view. And then we're going to make one of these today together. So let's just move those out of the way. You're ready to receive. I'll do, oops, not that, that and that. And I just need to bring this back a little bit because it's, there we go. Okay, we're happy now. We're sort of coming off the edge a little bit. So our first one, using the Tranquil Thoughts gorgeous stamp set, is this one here. Look at that, Flirty Flamingo, Mango, Magenta Madness, and Basic Black, or the Memento Black. And I had to add some matte dots in, of course. And then I didn't use the dies that were in the set because I wanted a sentiment sort of frame. So I used one of Bruno's favourite die sets, which is, it's sort of, I have a few die sets that are like my stock standard die sets. And it's the Sweet Stitch So Sweetly dies. This is just a go-to set. The other two that I highly recommend as go-to sets are the Stitch Nested Label dies and the Rectangle. To me, these are, sorry about the frog in the throat. I should have done me before I went live. It's morning here. So those for me are just stock standard dies that you just want to have as a base to your projects, because I just use them all the time. Like, they're really, really fantastic. So the cool thing about this one is it's super simple, very easy. You stamp it all first, and then you can use any color that you want with this. That's the cool thing. So you could replicate this a number of times. In fact, you could do a full sheet if you wanted to and just stamp away. But it was good to know where my sentiment was going, so it might be worthwhile to cut it down. And then once I worked out where my sentiment was going, I stamped that first and then stamped around it with the flowers and then cut it out. So really nice and simple, but I just love the colors and I thought it's a little bit different. But seeing that with Gorgeous Grape and maybe Highland Heather with the Memento would be hot. So there's a lot of options that you can do. Now the next one is using really highlighting this gorgeous sort of corner die here. And I did a few options just to show you just how versatile this sort of corner edge here is. Actually, first I'll show you, because I've got two that I used the corner edge, because sometimes we see this edge and we think, I'm not going to be able to use that again. Like, my brain can't get my head around how to do it differently. But I can show you how you can make it very, very different, even though you're using the same die. So, but I'll show you something else first. So this one that I'm about to show you is using this one here, which interestingly doesn't cut it out fully. So you've got to use this other square piece here to cut it right out. Otherwise it actually stays in your card, which is kind of cool. It gives it a different technique. So what I've done, you ready? I really love this one. Dun, 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 dun. It's very blingy. So what have I done here? I'm very excited. I know, it's so organized. So I have used the gorgeous, which I think is an absolute must-have die, embossing folder. I've used the Painted Texture embossing folder on this in the background, because I just wanted something. I really wanted to use this, but I knew I needed something in the background to really pop. Now the thing with this die is it's really gorgeous, but it can be difficult to see the sponging on it, so or the embossing, sorry. So I ended up sponging it to really sort of show the embossing in there. But with foil, it's hot, man. It is so hot with foil, because you don't have to do a thing and it shows up the embossing really well without having to touch it. So I really wanted to have some geometric design here. So I just cut out and this is just jade with the beautiful gold. Yes, gold leafing. And all I did to get the gold leafing like this, it was actually quite a lot of fun to do, but I just grabbed my green glue, the Tombow glue, and then just sort of followed the lines of the embossing folder. So I had all this glue on here, like little veins, you know, like what it sort of does when it follows the veins. And sort of let it sit for a little bit, not too long, but just a little bit, so it wasn't too wet, but it wasn't yet dry. And then just pushed all of the gold leafing on top. Bruno walked into the room just as I was doing that. And I said, oh my goodness, you better not look. Because he was always like, oh my goodness, this is so messy. Yes, it's really messy. But I love this square here. I actually just cut out a square of Just Jade, but I sponged the edge with the Just Jade as well. And then that sentiment is from the stamp set. So it's really, really pretty. I think, you know, you could use any sort of color with this and it would look very, very hot. So that is that one. Yes, really pretty. So already we're seeing, you know, very, very different cards with this bundle. What else have I got to show you? So this one here was the two that are using, these are the last two, but this is the one using this section here. So this is what I thought of straight away. Dun, 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 dun. This is very much like, to me, I could see this as a wedding card, but I could also see this as a sympathy card as well. And just you could change out this smoky slate section here. I've layered it with some basic black underneath, so that's why it looks like it's popping off the page. But you could easily, yeah, just change that color out and it would completely change the look of this card. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And then of course my beautiful matte dots. Yes. So gorgeous. We're ready to have a look at using this die again, and this is the one that we're going to do together today. Ready? So you think, oh, there's not much more you can do other than that, right? You ready? Oh yes, there is. There's a lot more you can do. So you can see on this one here, even though it's got the embossing in here, on different colors, and if you don't sponge it, you don't see it as much, which is fine with this style of card. I don't mind. It looks more like a sort of background piece. But you can see here how different it can look depending on, because I just cut it down. So, hi Karen. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I've used our brushes. So this is what we're going to do today, because I think this technique with the background is, we need to order you some more dots, Jessie. I think this technique in the background is really fun, especially with our new blending brushes. Yeah. Oh, good. Yes, Robin. Bravo to you. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm like, you know what? I want to get people right, well and truly over the edge, so that they're just like, I think I want that bundle. If I had just done that, you know what? I think I like that bundle. That bundle's nice. I might get that. But I'm hoping if I have all of this, that you're like, oh my goodness, I need that bundle in my life. I'm figuring that's the goal. It's like, I have to have this bundle. And of course, there's so many new designs. Like, I was getting so many ideas. And I do love this concept of pulling out a bundle. And I love that Stampin' Up! Do this for us. Pulling out a bundle and just working with that one bundle. I think it's really fun to do. And it's a really great way. Oh, I think I've frozen on there. Oh, there we go. We're all good. I think it's a really great way to utilize the products that you've got. And it's sort of, I think it really helps to keep you focused as well, because you're like, oh, I've really got to, you know, make sure that I use the products that I have. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of us struggle with, is making sure that we use what we have. Now, it's just doing a little alarm at me. Oh, no, that's okay. Good. So let's have a look. good. There you go, Samantha. You were just talking about the brushes. Yes, we will do that. You had me at bundle, yeah. It's in my cart already. I love it, Rebecca. Yes, gorgeous. Yes, and that would be really nice. Nancy brought up a nice idea. You could use the rainbow glimmer paper for this little die here. See, look, all of you are already thinking of amazing ideas with this bundle. It is really beautiful. And I think focusing on one thing at a time when you're creating definitely, well, it helps me to get more mojo. Now, the ideas that I had today, and I wanted to show you this with the color ideas. So this one here, I used the, what colors did I use? I used Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, and then the Pretty Peacock. And the Pretty Peacock, the darker I've decided to use as the background, and then the sentiment. But you can use this sort of idea of this, you know, ombre type effect with any of our combos, any of our colors. So this one here was my go-to because I think this is the one that I'll do today. Oh, where did the other colors go? Maybe I didn't pull them out. But I'm going to do Gorgeous Grey. I thought I pulled them out, but maybe I didn't. Gorgeous Grey. Oh, I pulled out the inks, that's right. But not the paper. Did I pull out the inks? Yes, they're missing, but who knows where they are. They're around here somewhere. So they're my three. Oh, now that I think about it, we don't have... Oh, yes, we've got the Purple Posy marker that we can use. I always miss the Purple Posy. I mean, I've still got the ink pad, but if you don't have the ink pad... Oh, here they are. They're right in front of me. If you don't have the ink pad, which a lot of people don't, sadly, you can get the marker. So just use the marker, and I'll show you how to do that. I've got a little way that you can do that. So that's those colours there, which I think will look really, really hot in this. The other thing that you could really, you know, make a really different idea, and it would completely change this card from looking a little bit tropical to suddenly going autumn, right? And so these are the colours that I thought would be very like autumn looking, which completely different again, right? But this is the Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, and Bumblebee. And those three together is going to just completely change up this card. It would change it from sort of a tropical quite a type theme to more of an autumn sort of feel. So you can see the versatility in this set. Even if you sort of put this in like grunged it with early espresso or something like that, it would sort of have this really autumn feel to it. So there you go. There's some options. But let's run with the... We'll see how we go for time. Because my lovely team today, I have got a guest stamper for them today. Genevieve Coe from Canada is going to be stamping with them on Zoom. Aren't they spoiled? Yep, I know. So amazing. That's the joy of being a team member. So if you're not already signed up to Stampin' Up and you live in Australia, we'd love to have you in our Crazy Crafters team. We do lots of fun things. We have lots of fun. So what I'm going to do, I like to start lightest and then go darker, but I want to show you how you can utilize your Purple Posy, because I don't think they sell the re-inker anymore either, do they? Yeah. You got the refill bottle. Oh yeah, good. Oh well, maybe there is a refill still. Some of you can maybe tell me, because that's another option too. Let me get the refill. Do I have? There it is. I'm like, do I have the refill? Of course I have the refill. But I'll show you this. So it might, because it is so light, you know, you're sort of looking at needing a bigger block to sort of put a whole heap on, and it looks like it's not doing a thing because the Purple Posy is very, very light. But I can see here that it's covered that entire area. So I just rubbed this off. I'm so naughty, I don't wash them. I just rub, but I did rub it already before, and it's looking pretty good. It's got a little bit of pink still left in it, but some people have said that they've washed this, left it overnight, and it's come up pretty good, which is exciting. Okay, so I've taken all of that off, but I'm going to do it again. So it's a little bit tedious with the Purple Posy, but you know what? I think it's worth it because it's such a beautiful colour. It's such a shame that they couldn't get the ink, because what was happening is it was bubbling. Okay, let's try that. Oh, it's very light. It's almost non-existent. Let's try Rinka. Someone can tell me if you can, and if you can't get the Rinka, then we'll just move to, you just do the next colours, the next darkness. So go Highland Heather. Oh yeah, that's good. Highland Heather, what's the other one? Gorgeous Grape. And then maybe you could go to the next darkest, which might be something like Rich Razzleberry or something like that, or Blackberry Bliss. So you just sort of go a little bit darker in your tones. But where there's a will, there's a way, isn't there? So pretty. It's left a little bit of a thing at the top here, but that's fine because we're doing a little bit of chopping later to cut it down, so I'll probably be able to cut off a little bit from the top. But with the blending, I mean, these brushes are just incredible because it depends on what ink color you use, as to whether you need to sort of sponge off first. But I've found that most of them are pretty good, like unless it's a really, really strong dark color, most of them you can go direct from the ink pad to straight to your project. And then I like to do it in a circular motion. Oh, no re-inker. Oh, so sad. So yeah, maybe go the next color up. So I'll show you that. This is a practice run. We'll go the next three colors. So Highland. What have we got? Highland. Ooh, maybe I can introduce a different. Because what we could do, actually we might just use those two. I reckon we can get away with it actually, just the two of them. So Highland Heather. But what we'll do is we'll just do a gradient so that it's not as strong. I'll do a flippy flip. There's always two sides to a card. Such a shame. I love Purple Posy. And that's probably, it's just too light to be able to pull it up. So this is Highland Heather. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start lighter. So I'm going to pull off some of this ink because we want to do a softer Highland Heather version. And then go darker. Because you can sort of layer the colour even with the same ink pad, which is really cool with these blends. So, Jessie, no re-inker. Okay, so that looks really nice. It's a very subtle. It's a subtle colour. Why does subtle have a bee in it? Really? Why? Because the bee is subtle. And then we're going to go a lot darker here. So this is where I sort of bring it in without doing any sponging off, because I want it to get quite heavy. So you don't need to push down, you're just sort of hovering over the top. And just keep layering and layering. You think nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, there's ink on there. Where did that ink come from? And even though it may look a little bit like patchy or imperfect, and you're like, oh no, this is not looking good, it's incredible how once you mount it and you cut it and you add your little elements on, it's incredible how gorgeous it just comes up. So don't sort of second guess yourself too much thinking it looks really ugly. Just try it out, put it on the card, and just see what you think, because you might be really surprised at how gorgeous it looks. So I'm just bringing this up a little bit. Made sure I put it a lot more there, but then I'm just bringing it up to there. It's a nice effect, isn't it, that you can layer it like this. Now I've got a little bit darker here, so what I do, if there's a little bit that's a bit darker in one area, I just come next to it with a bit of ink to sort of soften or to blend that in a little bit more, without trying to go over the top of it, because if you go over the top of it, it kind of makes it darker again. Look how moody it is. Beautiful. And the other thing about this that's really cool is you can see here this white down the base here. Even that looks really gorgeous when you leave a little bit of white. So yeah, there's only a marker in the set, but you know, you need the set. If you haven't got the set yet, you need it. You need it in your life. Okay, I'm really happy with that. And then we're going to go to the Gorgeous Grey for some added depth. Now this is where I like to test it a little bit beforehand, because that sort of first little bit can be the bit that leaves the little spongy blobby bits. So you want to be really soft, you know, not sort of stamping it or sort of flicking it. It's just got to stay in one motion onto your paper, so that you don't sort of get pieces. Like if you go like this, you're going to get this like oh no, there's a big blob on my card. So if you're getting like these little bits of like me, and then you can't sort of soften it, it's because you're not coming in softly. It's like wee, like that, really soft. You don't want to sort of come in too quick. You want to almost, if you wanted to, you could almost come off the page and in. If you're struggling with that sort of takeoff movement, that first movement, then start off the page. That actually, someone taught me that, and that helped me a lot when I was first beginning, because I wasn't able to sort of make contact without smudging it. So come off the page, start circling, and then you come on the page, and you can go a little bit harder once you're on the page. And then circle, circle, circle. I love the circles because it enables me to blend it a lot nicer. So much fun. So today, Kathy asked a good question. What else is Kylie working with? Today I'm working with the Tranquil Thoughts Bundle. So it's in the new mini catalogue. And I wanted to really highlight this gorgeous bundle. Now, what date is it today? It's almost the end of January, so I'm going to pop up some links to our tutorial subscription because it finishes at the end of this month, the subscription. And if you get the subscription, you get, all up, you'll end up with 12 tutorials every month for 6 months. So 72 tutorials. And then you get given 12 tutorial, and they're video tutorials. You get given 12 for free. So, and we usually have little bonuses and things like that for our subscribers. So I'll pop up the link. You can buy it all in one go. Get the full subscription all in one go, or we have like a payment plan, a monthly payment plan. I'm really getting this grunged up and dark because I want that gorgeous grape to really, wow. Isn't it looking beautiful? So you've got to be a little bit patient with the blending, but I think the effect is pretty incredible. Like I love this effect of sponging. I love these brushes. I use them a lot. And so this is really good, this alternative here, with just using the Highland Heather a little bit lighter. So I've been good, Inike. Good to see you. So I'm going to grab the link for the subscription because that's finishing very, very soon. So this is the full one, and then there's also this, the month by month. Coffee makes the heart sing. And it makes me sing as well. It's like, what would I do without coffee in my life? Why does everything have to change? They keep changing the way things look. Like, why change it? If it's not broken, why change it? Why are you trying to confuse me? It's really not that difficult to confuse me either. There. Okay. We're cooking with gas. I'm like, where have you gone, little button? I need to have it saved. Normally I have them saved somewhere, but for some reason I didn't save this one. Normally I have little quick links. Yes, so relaxing. Okay, so that's the month by month. So if you want to do month by month, you only pay for 5 months and then you get a month for free. And we all do a tutorial video. So there's 12 exclusive videos and the tutorial. And you don't see those projects anywhere online. I'm really happy with mine for next month. It's really pretty. We're doing the Fine Art Floral bundle of the suite next month. And each month we do a different suite. And so you get 12 tutorials just for that particular suite, which is really awesome. Actually, having a look at this, I'll tell you exactly what suite we do each month. And I'll list them here too. And it's really fun because we base our customer cards on the tutorial of the month, which is always really good because then the customers, our beautiful customers, they get given the tutorial when they order with us. They get the tutorial for free as a way to say thank you for your order. We totes appreciate you. Okay, so each month, so this month was Fine Art Floral, sorry, I take that back. Next month is Love You Always Sweet. So we've already released January, so you'll get January straight away. February is just around the corner, so you're going to get Love You Always Sweet. We've got 12 tutorials based on that one. March is Hydrangea Hill. April, Flowering Cactus product medley. May is the Ice Cream Corner Suite. And June is the Sand and Sea Suite. So each month you're going to get 12 exclusive ideas on each one of those suites, which is a lot of fun. So don't miss out because it's only 3 days, I think 3 days away. So there you go. Now, let's have some fun shopping this. I'm going to do definitely the Gorgeous Grape base. And we also need to do some cutting of our die. We also need to do our sentiment. What else do we need to do? Oh, we need to cut out the little Whisper White piece too. So I've got some here already. Good, I can use that one. Excellent. What else do I need? I've got my skem here. What's going on, Kylie Bertucci? What is happening? So let's do this cutting first. Move those out of the way for a moment. And I wonder if using the purple posy. Anyway, we'll have a look. We'll see what that looks like instead of the Whisper White. So unfortunately this die does not fit in our little mini because he's a bit big. He doesn't, he's a bit wide. And with these sort of intricate type dies, I do like to come back again, even though I probably don't need to. Just in case. Oh, wow. Look at that. So I noticed it gets a little bit caught here because it's very intricate. And of course you could use the other side if you wanted to as well. You could cut one in one color and then cut it again and then have this as like a background piece. I thought then I could raise this section up on dimensionals and then have this base piece in a different color, which would be like, oh my goodness, how did she do that? But yeah, you just cut it twice and then just make sure that you pull out all those pieces. But you can see here that it's got that beautiful embossing at the same time, so it cuts and does like a little bit of embossing. And if you wanted to highlight those a little bit more, you can just run the sponge dauber over the top, and that just sort of highlights, accentuates those embossing lines. Now I don't think I need this again, so I can just pop this all, try and line it all up and then put it in all lined up together like so when you're putting it away, just for your plates to just sort of sit in place, because it helps sort of keep them in place, which is good. So we've got this piece. Let's have a look at it next to this. Ooh, it's so beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? See what I mean about it? You look at it and you think, oh, I don't know if that's any good, that sponging. But as you start sort of adding elements to it, it really does change it. Now, I'll cut down the card base and then we can decide how small we want to cut this, whether we go for the same size as the one I did before. Because you know me, I always like to change it again. I come up with a layout that's perfectly wonderful and then think, no, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change that just because I can. And it's good with the card templates because I use my card templates for this one, and I worked out that if I used the measurements, the Coastal Cabana and the Bermuda Bay. That's all I used for that cutout. But if I wanted to, I can do a different layout. Do a little bit larger. Could do the Floaty Flamingo with the Mango Melody. Yeah, it's really up to you how big you want that border to be. And it will change again. Let's do that one, just so you can see the difference. And see how wonderful these card templates are, because they make you look like a genius. They really do. They help me so much. I know, isn't the die beautiful? But you can see here, like if you had the sponging with this, how suddenly it could look very autumn, like with a fall sort of feel. Depending on how you grunge it up or what color you use, it could have a totally different look to it. So it's a very versatile set, that one. So let's just do some choppy on this. We're going to use these sizes. So I want a piece behind, and I think I'm going to actually use the Purple Posy cardstock, because we still have the Purple Posy cardstock. We can use that. On here I use the Whisper White as the backdrop, which is a little bit more pop, but I think the Purple Posy will look great. Now I might even have a piece here that I can use. Do I have a piece that's big enough? Ooh, that one might be right. So let's cut that one first. So I'm using the Flirty Flamingo is going to be my first layer. So I've got that size there written for me. If you don't have our card templates and you don't know what they are, then you can have a look here. That's the information about what they're about. And then that's the link to go get the tutorial. Me. I don't know what's going on with my throat. Must have had too much dairy yesterday. Did I even have dairy yesterday? I don't think I even had cheese yesterday. Just got a frog in the throat. So, is this already cut down to size? Get out. Oh no, it's a little bit short on that side. But that was pretty cool that it was perfect on that side. Good. Then we need the smaller size, which is the Mango Melody size. I'm going to cut down this side. Yeah, that one there. Now, keep these sections, because this section here is what I'm going to use for my inside piece. That's going to be decoration. And I think I'll cut it off the lighter section. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could come back in and do a little bit of sponging here, but I really like that it's sort of the edge here has got the ink pooling. Now, of course, once you cut it down, it does mean that this isn't going to fit on perfectly. And you have two options. You could just leave it as is and have it hanging off, but I decided to chop it. So I stuck it down and then chopped it. So you could even come right, let's come right in so we can use more of the die. You can see this one here, I really thinned it out so that I could have some more space here. But because this layer is bigger, it's going to be able to handle, because it still has a lot of space there, which is good. So then all we're going to have to do is just chop the top and the edge, which is fantastic. And then this is it layered behind the purple. Let's have a look. Let's see what we think. Am I sold? Am I sold? I don't know yet. It's actually quite, look, it's pretty down here, but I feel like up here it's not enough of a contrast. I think I might end up still doing the Whisper White. I mean, it looks lovely. It's not offensive, but I really want this to pop. So let's try it. That's the best way for me, is to see, compare the pair, because nothing ever gets wasted around here. I will still use the other piece that doesn't get selected. The one that didn't make the team. Now let's test that out. Go get a glass of water. You gonna get it for me, Christine? Ooh. Yeah, I think I like that better. Just has, even though it's a tiny, tiny little piece, I just think it pops in that section as well. And it will also help us bring in this colour, which is good. Yeah, let's do that then. And we'll stick this down. So you can just use a little bit of Tombow if you wanted to, and you're a bit more organised. You could make sure you use your adhesive sheets, because they're really handy before. I mean, something like this probably, I mean, I'm not an adhesive gal, mainly because I'd need a little bit of wiggle room, and I do like that the green glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room. But the adhesive sheets are very handy if you don't want to be mucking around with glue, because it can get a little messy. So I'm going right to the edge on both sides, so then there's no chopping at all along the edge, which is super handy. I'm going to leave this up. I like a little bit of, I didn't put any glue behind that one either. Just has a little bit of sort of 3D effect to it. And then we're going to glue that down on the Whisper White. I'll just chop this first, just with my snips along the edge. Nice and easy. There we go, and then we'll stick that down on there. Gorgeous. And then this bit we're going to, because it's got a good border, I'm going to raise that on dimensionals. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to do it flat. This one here, because it's smaller, I think you do get away with raising it because you don't have as much. But I do want this border, if I raise it up, you lose more of that sort of colour behind. So we've got plenty here to play with, but yeah, this one here I'll go flat, just so you can understand my creative thinking. Nothing wrong either way if you decided to do dimensionals. There we go. How pretty is that? So pretty. So pretty. Now, how do we get these little flecks? Firstly, don't stick this down. You should not have stuck that down, but it's going to be fine. we will find a way, because there's a really cool tip yesterday that I worked out, that if you don't like flicking with your watercolor, because it's a little bit messy, but what I did first was just do some flicking with the watercolor. I did some craft ink and then the aqua painter. Look at this. The sign of a true crafter. I'm telling you, this craft ink is out of control. Like, the minute you open it, it just, like, we found the last time that I used craft ink, I think we found craft ink was just getting on everything. Like, we've been making a card and we're like, how is there craft ink on our project? And it was like it had attached itself to one of the tools. It got on the take your pick tool or something. So yes, give it a very good clean after usage, because otherwise you'll end up with it all over your projects. Note to self. So what I decided to do, or what I'm going to show you now, I'm being very careful because I look at my hands, was just go direct, because the thing with using the craft ink with water, it still looks fantastic, but it's just not as strong. It's not as, and I like things to be bold. So what you can do is, there's two options for different sizing. I've got my little watercolor pencil here. You don't need a lot, okay? Because I put a lot yesterday and I was like, oh, that was a bit of a waste. Now what I'm going to do is bring off as much water as I can. You can have a little bit, but not a huge amount. And actually, I might use the even thinner one. Ooh, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use my blender pen. So this one is really good for the smaller dots, because you can pick it up and you have control of exactly where you want those splatters to go. And yes, they're tiny, but the cool thing about doing it like this rather than splattering is that they're going to be like full strength. Whereas when I splatter, they go a little bit opaque, which is kind of cool. It kind of has like a watercolor feel to it. So it just depends what you're going for. Like if you want it to be a little bit sort of watercolor, you know, type thing. Now I'm just pushing down a little bit harder to get the bigger dots. So if you're a bit like me, like I do love the flair of splashing my project, but particularly because I did the wrong thing here too and stuck it down first, I really didn't want to get splatters all over the place. So if you want it to stay a little bit neater and have more control of exactly where you want those splatters to go and how many you want, then this is a good alternative. Isn't that cool? And the other thing that I did was just go straight from the bottle and tap it like that. I was like, wait, oh look, it's got a big bubble. Pop. Oh, that looks so cool. I didn't even mean to do that. Can I recreate that? How did that even happen? It's really cool. We can't recreate that ever again. You're never going to get a bubble on your But yeah, so you can just come in with the bottle. And if you tap it off a little bit, you can even do really light ones. Yeah, so just a little tip. It's actually fun with the bottle too. So there you go. I think we've done a lot of dots. And if you want it to be a little bit more like splatter looking, because yeah, these are just all very segregated, you know, they don't have sort of partners to them, so you can sort of have a few around. Yeah, that's really fun though. This is the controlled splatter technique. I want to control you, splatters. I want to know exactly what you're doing. So yeah, if you find you don't like splatters for that reason, that you're scared, because I know that feeling. You've done all that sponging, all that work, and you're just like, oh my goodness, what if I get this wrong? And sometimes we don't do that next step because of the fear of what might happen. And I understand that, because it's like, great, what if I end up wrecking this card after all this work I've put into it? And look, so much still left, so really, really tiny amount. It might even be better just to go straight from the bottle than to even tip it out. So there you go. You could use that for something else though if you wanted. But yeah, be very, very careful. This ink, it's like it just keeps appearing. So just really be aware. Maybe keep it in its bottle, because it goes everywhere. I've got baby wipes here. It's a must-have. It's a staple in this room. So you just really give yourself a good clean. But yeah, if you do it straight from the bottle, I think that you'll be safe then. It might be the best way to go. Oh, good. I like that. I like to be neater, but harder to have a look that's random. Yeah, I think if you just have it on your pen, but you just don't look, Judy, then it'll be very random. It'll look more like splatters. Because on this one here, you can see the way that splatters work. They kind of like sort of corrugate together. You have a few in one area together, and then you have some that are dispersed. Yeah. Now I like those little jewels as well. Do I have some of those? Yes, here we go. What have I got here? I could do the frosted or the clear. I might end up doing these clear ones. I've got to get some more of these. They're so pretty. My frog's still there. Isn't that pretty? I probably should have done my sentiment first, but that's okay. I'll forgive you, Kylie. Now, let's do our sentiment. I've got some gorgeous grape here that I can use in my little scrap section rather than chopping into a new layer. I think this one's the smallest one I've got. And then the other piece that I've cut, then that can go straight in there. I should have actually looked in here because I've already got some that are cut for the base even. Put you over there. And let's have a play at some light embossing. So I've got my embossing tray. Now Stampin' Up doesn't have this tray anymore. So I'm going to show you how you can use your grid paper. I like using my mini grid paper for embossing. And what you're going to do, we don't have the little embossing buddy anymore, but you can get it online. But I find I really need the embossing buddy just to take off all of the static. If I don't do it, I end up getting bits of powder in a place I don't want, which is not good. So now we're coming in with our stamp set from this bundle. And I think what we'll do is, looking at the project, I think I'm going to stick to the same one. I was like, oh, should I change it up a little bit? Because I think when you cut it out, it always looks nice when you cut it out when it's a longer sentiment. I mean, this one, it's pretty. Anyway, we'll have a look at both. We'll have a play. Why not? Let's do the lot. We'll do these three. I'm telling you, that's how I work things out. Debbie asked a question, how do I get my face showing at the same time? It's magic. It's a program called Switcher Studio. Sadly, it's not cheap, but I like to say hello to you while I'm crafting. Yeah, but there are other, I think some people have said that they use Minicam or something like that. Yeah, there's a few different ones. OBS, I think, is another one. They're like streaming software. So it takes a little while to sort of get your head around it all. But trial and error. So we've got this one. We've got the thank you. And then we've got the longer one. And then we'll just put powder on them. Oh, I was going to do it on there. I'm just so used to grabbing the tray. So I've pulled this paper off so that I can pick it up. You don't want it attached. And then you just pour it on top like so. give it a little shake, 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 and then pour it onto your grid paper. Is it looking good? Oh, the little eye is missing a little bit, so let's just pop a little bit there and see if it picks it up. Yeah. So you can see here the little dots that sort of come up when there's a bit of static, which you can pull off fairly easy, but with the embossing buddy, that's what it sort of removes from your project. Good. Then you just pick up your little grid paper. I love doing it on this because it's tiny, and then you just go whee, and then it all goes back in. So your grid papers are the mini grid paper. This is Stampin' Up grid paper too, and it's a really good one to use for embossing. Really simple. And then I bring in the heat gun. This is Stampin' Up heat tool, and melt the powder. Ready? I was like, you probably don't really want to hear the heat gun, but I gave my voice a good clear as well. I'll have to do that next time. Put me on mute. I forget about my little mute button. Beautiful. So quick and easy. I love, love, love embossing. Like, really love it. It's very rare that I don't emboss for my sentiment, especially white embossing. Hi, Laurel. Oh, that's great, Shelley. Good job. I learned that you can use an already used dryer sheet for the embossing buddy. Huh, there you go. Well done, Linda. We don't have dryer sheets here in Australia, which is a bit weird. I have heard about dryer sheets in the US. I'm not sure if you're the UK, but I have heard people talking about them. But yeah, it's not a common, like we can get them, but it's not a common thing here. So I'm just cutting out around. Now you don't have to obviously fussy cut. You could use something else instead. But I like fussy cutting with this type of project because you don't want it covering too much of all your hard work, because you know we've put all this work into making this beautiful background. I don't want too much of it sort of covered up, so I just follow it around. I move with my left hand, I'm moving the project, and all the right hand is doing is just snipping. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, that's the cool thing about fussy cutting your sentiments, is it kind of has this look of, yeah, you want it to look fussy cut. I really enjoy fussy cutting. I know a lot of you don't, but I really love it. I'm like, whee! That one. And then this last one. So with these ones that are fairly straight, I do them straight. And then when it starts getting curvy, and I go into the curve, and you just sort of, I leave maybe like a couple of millimeters around the edge, just so that it you don't see too much of the chopping. So I'm not overly happy with this section here, but let's just come in there a little bit and see what that looks like. So we've got 3 to choose from. And what we can do is just sort of have a look at where it would go. So there's the thank you. Just being careful that your project will still be wet. That actually is quite nice, that one. I do like that one. Surprised. Can you hear it in my voice? I actually really like that one. And then there's this one, which is the one that we did before. I really like that one. I think we're going to stick with that one. We want the background to be the hero. Still got a frog in the throat. But I am very, very surprised with that. I really do like that. But yeah, I'm going to stick with this one. I'll put it on little mini dimensionals. So sometimes it might feel like a little bit of extra work to actually, like for me, I like to visually see what it looks like. It helps me with my decision making. So it might take a little bit of time to do that, but then I'm confident in my decision. I'm not second guessing myself. Oh, you're obsessed, Tammy. Love it. Okay. And I like it to, I want it to sit between all these little beautiful flicks here. I don't want to cover the bubble one because it's so cool. And do I want it to hinge off there? Because I can hinge it off there. Yeah, I like it. So it's going to sit on the edge there. Oh, yes. I surprise myself sometimes. I really do. It's like, how did you do that, Kylie? How was that possible? So there you go. Look at our project today. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's just moved. Oh, there you go. It's had a little freezing session today. I've noticed a couple of times it's done that. But let's do the inside because we've got our little piece here still ready to go. That piece has got some baby white wetness on it. We don't want that. And where's our little piece that we kept? No. There it is. Knew it'd be here hiding somewhere. So I'll just do a strip of this. And if you wanted to, you could even do this in Gorgeous Grape on the inside. How beautiful would that look? Wow. I've done it the same ombre direction as the front. And then make it pretty on the inside. And there you have it, lovely people. Probably should have done a little snip there, but actually doesn't look too bad. Looks like an effect. There you go. Ah, gorgeous. We even did an inside. But yeah, that would look amazing. I think with the Gorgeous Grape on the inside, or whatever colour you have, put that as like an accent. You could even use like a little bit from each side up in the corner as well. Hot. So there you go. Let's have a look at all of these beautiful cards all in a row. I'll move this out of the way. I'll move my noggin out of the way as well. Whoa. How cool is this? So pretty. Do you think it's given you lots of ideas? Is it sold? Is it like, oh my goodness, I have to have that bundle? That was my goal, everyone. That's the goal. It's like, look how many different cards we've got and the different look. And isn't it interesting that the difference between these two? Just the change of tiny layer, it just changes the complete card. I really like this layer, but I really like that one too. It just changes it completely. So I really hope that that's given you lots and lots of inspiration and ideas for this bundle. And I hope that you like the idea of me highlighting a bundle. I'm really excited about this little idea. P.S. Something literally just jumped at me. Look at this. Isn't that cool? That's the cutout. So you could actually do the reverse, layer it on a piece. Like imagine it on a darker, what have we got here? Let's get our gorgeous grey out. And this is what I love about playing with one bundle. So you could do it like this and put it on dimensionals and look how hot that looks. So cool. You can use the reverse. Beautiful. So there you go. Lots and lots of amazing ideas. How did I do the gold on the green card? Sally asked. I used Tombow glue with the embossing folder, and then got my gold leafing, the beautiful Stampin' Up gold leafing. If you haven't played with it yet, it's a lot of fun. Super messy, but lots of fun. And you barely use a thing when you put it on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, good. You got the stamp set, but not the bundle because you didn't like the dies. Well, there you go, Yolanda. I hope this has won you with the dies because they are really, really pretty. I love Trish. That's a very honest answer, Trish. I do like the idea of concentrating on a bundle. I'm not sure if my wallet does. That's very cute. So thank you so much for all being here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take a photo with me in the little corner here. This could be my photo for today. There you go. Something a little bit different. A new front cover. Excellent. Yay. Oh, thank you, Shelley. Good. I'm glad it's given some inspiration today. But, you know, just remember, whatever you've got here, you could use these layouts to, like, particularly this one here. You can use that with so many different stamp sets. And it's super quick, super easy, but really effective way of having some fun with especially smaller stamps. This is a great technique for smaller stamps, just doing a bit of stamping. But yeah, it's really good. Yes, I have to get the dies now. Oh, I'm so glad, Judy. I'm glad you like the gold leafing one. It's very pretty, isn't it? Especially with the jade. Who would have thought with the jade it would look so good? I'm very happy. It was a little bit difficult for me to think of how to do the sentiment, but I do like having it just in the black and then cutting it out. I'm very happy with that. So thank you all very much for being here. If you live in Australia, we'd love to look after you. If there's anything we can do to help you with your crafting, let us know. And yeah, we'd love to have you on our Crazy Crafters team. There's a special at the moment with joining that you get 5 packs of paper and they're worth $20 each pack. So it's $100 for free. on top of the usual $66 for free. So that's really great value at the moment. And then once you join up, you get 20% off all of your purchases. So if you know you're going to be spending a little bit of money on craft supplies, then it's worth thinking about joining up just to get that discount as well, let alone the bargain that you get with the kit when you start. And the kit is fully customizable. You can pick anything you want when you join up. It's basically just going shopping, but having $66 for free. Shop for whatever you want with $66 voucher with a free amount. So that's really good. So it costs $169 for that initial starter kit that you can put anything you want in, but you choose $235 worth of product here in Australia. Now, Kathy asked, what bundle is it? The bundle is the, where's the stamp set here? It's gone for a walk already. It's like, I'm done. You've overworked me today. Here it is. Tranquil Thoughts Bundle. So that's the bundle there. And of course it has that corner die that goes with it as well. But yeah, that's the bundle that I focused on today. Yes. So that's exciting. But yeah, we'd love to have you in the team. We've got lots that we do with our team, monthly Zoom craft classes and free tutorials, free training. So we have a lot of fun, which is awesome. Junie's asked what my storage shelves behind us are, which by the way, I've heard that this one's coming. So finally it's all going to be all happy all the way across, but it is an IKEA shelf. And then here in Australia, we have a man called Cole Craft. He's found on Facebook. He designs the inserts for our IKEA shelving. But in the US, I think I've heard there is a storage company that does make them. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. I'm sorry. I know it's the one that Mary Fish sometimes highlights, like Stampin' Storage, I think it's called. But anyway, maybe each of you can tell one another if you know about an IKEA shelving insert builder, someone who does it in the US. But here in Australia, yes, it's Cole Craft. Yeah. So thank you all very much for being here. We shall see you sometime next week. Make sure you head over to our blog, kyliebertucci.com. Now, I just want to check something here because we are literally on the cusp. We have a big request. We are on the cusp of about to reach 20,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. I don't know if it's happened yet, but please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe because I'd really love to reach that today. It would be very exciting. I'm not sure what number we're up to now. I'll see if I can see it while this is running because, yeah, that would be really, really fun to get to the 20,000 today. YouTube Studio. Oh. We need 30 more. We're at 19,970. Come on, we can do it. 30 more people. If you can send it to your friends and say, please subscribe. Kylie's trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. She really wants to get to 20,000. Yes, 20,000, Jessie. I'm an influencer, Jessie. It's 19.9, but the exact number is, because I can see it from my YouTube studio, 19,970. Yes. And yes, it's called Stampin' Storage. They do the IKEA inserts. Yes. Kath will. Good Kath. What? Kath isn't already subscribed, Jessie? Tell her I'm offended. How could she not be? Get your nephews to sign up too. We need 30 people. Come on, 30 people. Oh, well, good to see you all. Have a wonderful day ahead, and I will be blogging all of these cards next week. So it'll be interesting to see whether, you know, we still get lots of interest in the cards despite showing them already. So this is something new for me to try, but I really wanted to have like a concentrated idea from one bundle all in one go. And now my blogging is done for the week, so I'm kind of a bit excited about this idea. Tell me what you think. Do you like this idea? Did it help you to sort of visualize how many different things you could do? I hope it did. I hope that you like the new idea, because I might do it again next week. We'll have to pick a bundle. The inserts of the bomb, yes. They are pretty amazing. Bruno designed the last one so that it could fit the stamp set and the Stampin' Up storage, which is really cool. And yes, this is Stampin' Up storage up the top here for the inks and the markers, which I really wanted to use. I was like, I really want to use the Stampin' Up storage. So, oh, thank you, Anne-Marie. Big hugs over in Montreal. Yes. Well, have a wonderful week, everyone. Thank you for your support. Please go and check out our tutorial bundle if you haven't done that already. Message us if you want to send a card to Bruno's dad. Anything that you want to say, just say g'day, as we say in Australia. You're visualizing your bank going under. But it was so nice to catch up. Really enjoy spending time with you every week, and appreciate your support so much. We really, really do. So keep up the good work. Keep spreading love around the world with our beautiful creativity. It just builds people up, and it's really, really important that we do that right now. You have a gift, and it's really important right now that you use that gift to not just make cards, but send them. Please, please, please do it, because it's so special and it means so much to people right now. So you have an obligation, a gift and an obligation to share. So see you soon, everyone. We'll see you next week. Miss you already. Thanks for being here.